Welcome to Created to Create Kids.
Happy, 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 happy! Hello there, my creative kids. It's Ms. Jenny and Mr. Paintbrush. And today's project is going to be drawing and coloring a cute little mushroom or two. Okay, I hope you have your pencil. I have my marker, and let's start. So for me, I always start with the stem. It kind of goes out on an angle and then kind of goes back up. And then we're going to curve it this way. Okay? Then from there, we're going to draw an ellipse. Not a circle, but an ellipse is more like an egg shape. So we're going to go from here, around, and back. And then from there, we're going to start a little bit under. And we're going to go up like the top of the mushroom. Again, it's a big curve. And remember, anytime you need to pause to catch up, feel free to do so. Now, most mushrooms have lots of lines underneath. So we're going to start in the middle. These ones are going to go out on an angle like this. And then another angle like that. And then you can just keep filling in lines in between. Kind of keeping them on an angle like you would do when you were drawing a sun with the rays. And if you need to fill in more to make it look more like a real mushroom, feel free. Next, it seems like everybody adds little circles to their mushrooms. So you can add a circle, and when you're doing it on an edge, you can do a half circle to make it look like it's kind of going to the other side. So you can do some almost circles, like this one is almost a full circle, but it doesn't go quite over the edge. Add a few more. Can make them all different sizes. You can add just a few, or you can add a whole bunch. Totally up to you. All right, so we have our circles done. And then if we want, we can add another mushroom. Miss Jenny always forgets about that upper angle. Like that, and it's the same thing. We're gonna do an ellipse. We're gonna start just under the ellipse and go up like a mushroom shape. And the same thing. Let's add a few little circles in. Again with the lines, straight up from the middle. Out on an angle, out on an angle. Remember, just like the sun's rays, can add a few more in there as you see fit. And then what Miss Jenny likes to do is add some grass. So we're just going to add a little bit of grass. Some comes up behind. And grass is just basically some up and down shapes, like you would see growing outside. All right, after the grass, sometimes I like to add rocks, just little pebbles, like you might see outside, because the ground is never perfect. Some of the pebbles can be bigger, they can go right in front of the base, so can a few grass stems. A few more little rocks. A little more grass in front of the other grass. And I think that's pretty good for the drawing part. Now don't forget, you can pause at any time if you didn't understand something and need to catch up. Now you can color with whatever you want. Miss Jenny chose crayons for today. So I am going to start with the darkest part, which is the underneath. So you want to start darker on the inside, and even a little bit darker on the ones that are underneath, because kind of like we learned yesterday, the sun doesn't reach the underneath portions as well as it does the things that are closer to the sun. So I'm just gonna boop, 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 kind of out on an angle from there, darker all the way in the bottom corners. And then I'm going to add a gray to color in the rest. And even the gray, sometimes you can press harder, sometimes you can do lighter. So it's really up to you how you want to color it. All right, now I know everybody wants to do the mushroom cap next, but we're going to work on the stem. And I'm choosing to use these colors. Now, these colors. And maybe a fleshy one. Now, once again, you have to remember that this is covering the top part of the stem. So you want that to be your darkest. This part to be your lightest, because it's getting more sun over there. And then if you want to go over all of it lightly with like a yellow, that works too. So take your time and let's finish coloring the stems. While you were away coloring your stems, you might have noticed that Miss Jenny added a little bit of gray because I wanted the shadow just to be a little more noticeable. So if you need to pause and want to change it up a little bit, feel free. But now we're going to get into everybody's favorite part, the cap. Most people do it red for some reason. I don't know why, because all the mushrooms I see outside look kind of gray and white. But we're going to do red. If you want, you can color yours blue, green, pink, orange, whatever color you want. But I'm going to stick with the standard reds. So again, remembering that this is darker because it's underneath. This is darker because it's underneath. And this one's also being shaded a little bit by that one on top of it. Now you can go around the circles and leave them white, or you can color them in a color. And you can use different shades of red. You can throw some pink on top of it. Mixing colors can sometimes make it look a little bit more fun than just one solid color. So I am going to finish coloring this little guy, and you guys can pause and do the same. How did you guys do on your mushroom caps? We're going to start working on the grass now. Now you see I have multiple colors of green because, as we said in one of our videos already, the grass is never all the same color. So I'm going to start with my darkest green and color the ones that are in front of the mushrooms because their light is being blocked by the mushrooms. And then the base of them, I am starting with mostly green of the darker shade. This guy's under the mushroom cap, so he's a little darker. This one has the shadow of the mushroom hitting it, so it's a little darker, at least on that side. That blade of grass is getting that one. And this one underneath is going to be a little darker. And then, as you go along, you can add the lighter shades. So on top of that, I might put really light ones where the sun is able to get to them. And then kind of join it all together with a regular shade of green. And yes, you can go right over the yellow so it all blends together. And you can even color in some green where we don't even really see the grass, but we know that it's on the ground. And you can actually use the backside of your crayon to make this happen. We're just going to kind of go like this. So I think you have the idea now. We want the darker green where the shadows may be, or where the mushrooms are blocking out some of the sun's light. And then we go a little lighter where the sun can hit right away because there's no mushroom in the way. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go work on your grass. You can even do some of these little guys if you want. All right, so pause, go work on your grass, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, if you're all caught up, you now have your mushroom stem done, the underneath of the mushroom done, your mushroom cap done, and you've added the grass, which means there are only one or maybe two, depending on what you want to do, steps left. So I did these rocks kind of sloppily as I was starting out. Now I'm going to go back though and finish coloring them in. Little black, little gray. They're just little pebbles that are kind of sitting there in front, because if you're walking in the grass barefoot, I'm sure there's been times where you've stepped on a rock in the grass. So I'm just adding a few of those in, coloring in the ones I already had. You can try to lighten them up with white a little bit if you think they're too dark. And right there, you could be finished. Or if you would like, using this side of the crayon, you can lightly add in some sky. Just back and forth. You can even go over the blades of grass because green is made from blue and yellow. So even if you go over it, it is not going to change the color of the grass very much. It will still look green. So you can add the sky in. Move out of the way, we're done with you. And we just keep adding a little bit of blue. Until the sky looks like it's behind it. And then you know what I do sometimes on my mushrooms? I don't know why, but I like to draw a little ladybug crawling on top. I think I'm going to make it on this one. So it's just a red little bump. And then you take your black, add a little head with a couple of little antennae, and add a few black spots. And now it looks like there's a little ladybug on there. So I think we're finished. We've got some beautiful mushrooms on a blue sky day, just chilling in the grass. So here is our finished mushroom drawing. I hope all you kids had some fun drawing along with us. Don't forget to take care of your supplies and put them all away nicely. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Thank you.